Oh, I only took a break of about 2 years, but I'm back with some disco. A little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit more traumatized, but yeah, life goes on, and I kept actually so. I lost my PC due to me just being an idiot. I spilled fucking water on it, and then I tried to turn it on. Uh, Instead of just being intelligent and letting it dry off and wait, I was freaked out and just stupid. And yeah, it fried my fucking computer. And it took me a couple years to earn the money and prioritize it. I kind of didn't need video games in my life or want them for quite a long time, but things have changed and I kept my hard drive was intact, so I've got the same hard drive with the same saved games and everything, so we didn't miss anything. Let's go ahead and find this beast in the Doom commercial area for Plaisance. I love the music, but it needs to be turned down just a hair. Oh, is that? It's either or. I believe this is it. I don't remember the controls. How do I, is there a hotkey for quick saving? Oops. F5, well, it's kind of out of the way, but I'm used to Q. I've been playing Baldur's Gate.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
You hear a woman answer.
you've awakened the entity.
This is the police. Who's there? It's so
Hello?
over the top.
Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
The bear's eyes are dead.
This is a tray full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello. I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I forgot you could do that.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius.
She taps on her headphone.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
Wait, what do you mean by milieus?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these.
She pats the headphones on the table.
Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
I mean... it's kind of an asshole thing. I kind of want one. Sure, I like role-playing games, and I need some dice.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly.
How'd you become a dice maker?
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition.
She doesn't let it show, but there's anger in there. She doesn't like jewelers. Thinks they're a mob.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Well... Okay, I'll order a dice.
Of
Die.
course. Tell me what you have in mind.
I'm looking for something to help me with my work.
I think I have just the right one for you.
She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cradled in her palm.
Police colors.
Because I'm a police officer, right?
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best.
I like her voice, it's cute.
Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Catch the dice.
Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Say nothing. Act like you've done this 1,000 times.
What are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. Think of them as your lucky charm, officer.
Fuck yeah, dude. This game is so awesome.
She smiled at you. She smiled. You truly are Mr. Smooth Moves.
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else?
Do you know anything about the man behind the whirling and rags who was lynched?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean by daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
She stops to try and come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike. But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
And you never took your eyes off your work to look out your window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
Do you often work Sunday nights?
It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
I see. Thank you for your answers.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
I've heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that this place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing well. There's hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter. It's not that's cheat. Okay, it's not exploitation to hire your child, but yeah, her mom is shitty, so it's kind of over the top, over the edge there. The last answer is funny as fuck. I don't know why the bookstore hasn't gone bankrupt yet. That's why I'm here to investigate.
Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Wait, the whirling is part of the doomed commercial area?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Commerce Central project.
You're right, the whirling doesn't really look like it's cursed.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years,
Damn.
selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
It's because you're competent and dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people like you.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work ethics? What you're describing isn't a curse, it's capitalism.
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring. But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
Okay. We're We're just gonna go ahead and do this
Oh,
right here. It's a
you
white
again.
check, so
A gust of
Wow.
cold wind sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
this is still just a theory, but hear me out. I think I know why your business hasn't failed.
Didn't we already talk about this?
It's because you're not in the same building as the others. This isn't technically the doomed commercial area.
What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same. Rue de Saint-Guilain 10.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
No, this used to be a coal plant. Touch the safety curtains. You're in the chimney of another building.
This doesn't make any sense.
She looks around the makeshift nest that she's carved out for herself, bewildered.
Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from?
It has a different address in the heart of the city.
And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul against the evil forces.
No, no one's ever really safe from failure.
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
What?
Do you know what this is?
She raises her hand to reveal a piece of metal shining on her index finger. It looks like a piece of jewelry to me.
It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan.
Why are you telling me this?
It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney?
Don't call it a dump. You've made it nice and cozy in here.
Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it.
I hear that.
That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world.
She picks up a pair of dice from the table and examines them under the light. Dude, this game is fucking beautiful and profound and just... That's so true. Like, when you play when I play like Baldur's Gate 3, like every time I make a decision, I'm like, oh shit. Now I don't get to see the other line of the other path, you know? And I mean, you could look at it at life too.
But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
Do you know what's happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
There used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
No.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
Yeah, Chad will eat you alive.
It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
It's true. If you own it, don't fucking matter. I've seen guys own like fucking knee-high white socks, and fucking dad bod and fanny pack and sandals, and they look fucking ridiculous, but they look good at the same time. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was Artemitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he
Zhimsk.
had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs. Community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
Wow. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
So how'd that community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
Oh boy.
You should have known it.
We need drugs.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milius. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Cool about the debris, but what's a snuff milieu?
It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
What does she mean, to get off on it?
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Oh my god, Kim, you are such a fucking, bean counter, bro. I wasn't thinking about enforcing the law, I was just curious.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron?
Taxidermy.
The taxidermist. No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
What kind of drugs was he doing for my, police report?
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Eventually, they caused him to lose control of his bladder. The smell was awful.
God, that is terrible.
Even you can probably do better than that.
I found some creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
I didn't know insects had rights activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
But insects don't have any brains or feelings?
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
She rests her chin on her hand with an impish smile.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tumutiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
That's illegal, running off with company's money like that. Why hasn't he been arrested?
Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
There was a terrifying taxidermied bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
She smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees, like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
All right, I'll buy it. What about the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Fritta does the same thing.
Yeah, I've run a fireworks tent with my brother for a long time, and the fucking worst thing you can do is have a disinterested teenager work for you. Doesn't matter how hot she is or whatever. It will fucking runaway employees like fucking cancer. Or, runaway customers like cancer. That's an award-winning idea. How else do you choose people around you? Jesus Christ, that is so bad. Both the answers are pretty stupid. Oh, I see. This one's good. I know a girl just like that. She works in Freight as a cashier, and she's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Ravachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
She closes her eyes as if remembering something painful. What about the bear?
The bear.
She repeats, pressing her thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. What, it didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I killed the bear.
You did what?
This is so fucking... 1 and 2 are both funny as fuck. It's either I had to kill the bear to become the bear, or I murdered it with my own bare hands and I laid it to rest. It is my trophy now.
Really? You broke it? What a shame. It was a terrifying beast, but I was fond of it. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Scary, but cool.
Megatherion?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Fuck yeah.
A wise and noble beast, guiding you toward the land where the streets are paved with drugs. The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
Oh my god, I hope we get a thought from this. I did not see this when I did this the first time, because I didn't take any drugs. I was a good boy and I got the good ending and it was nice to everyone. I do drugs. I've got a vision beast myself. Don't you know?
Do you? Well, good luck keeping it under control. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad, finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly.
Little sparkling embers under the window. Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
Other questions?
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Another dice?
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. No need to rush.
Okay, I already got a dice. Let's see the dice she gave me. These two 20-sided dice have the colors of a police alarm. Bloodstone for red and lapis lazuli for blue. If you roll them and squint your eyes, it looks like you're arriving on the scene and it's raining. Note, look at the map tab in the journal to see which white checks have opened. So dice reopen white. I don't really understand what dice do. I might have to look that up later, but okie dokie. Oh, we got a new thought. The precarious world. Temporary research bonus. All red checks fail? What's the solution? Ooh, I don't like that. I need to do this right before bed. Before we go to bed, I will... Oh, do I not have a slot? Okay, before we go to bed, I will hit that. Don't want to get ahead of myself and fuck up a conversation. Maybe we can get the meth out of the punching bag. If only. Maybe it's just a rumor. Damn it.
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them.
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Niha, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
She's not a sorceress or some malicious entity. She's a businesswoman, just like you.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
She looks perplexed.
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm.
She says there is no curse because there are too many inconsistencies.
Too many inconsistencies? What kind of talk is that?
First, you're one of the inconsistencies.
I am not doing as well as it looks like I am. I only have my Simone's wards to thank for the protection they provide.
As I said, she's a novelty dice maker. Her business has been up and running for a long time.
Yes, because her business consists of the psychic leech that's been feeding the curse.
Red blotches appear on her skin.
I see that you've fallen for her manipulation, Detective. The investigation is over. I just hope that you haven't made anything worse by going in there. Thank you for nothing. Please do buy some books or be on your way.
She concludes, tucking the pendant away in her blouse.
Total psychic collapse between you two right now. Anger and loneliness keep this woman moving through the waking hours. Your little words are no match for it.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Okay, I'm... I want to see this. If I lie to her about the bear.
What have you found? A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out.
She's not
Why
a
did you need it?
sorceress.
I don't understand.
She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm.
The source of it is in the taxidermist's shop. He became involved in arts darker than taxidermy and brought the void spirits down upon this place.
Oh, how horrid! I knew something wasn't right about that place. Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse?
Yeah, I despooked it. The curse is gone.
What does that mean? Are you certain? Oh, but who am I to question your methods?
She looks at you with sudden admiration.
All that matters is that the energies are retreating. I can already feel the curse lifting. It will be a long time until we're fully free of it, of course. But still, thank you, officer. Truly, you've brought a better psycho-emanation to this humble bookstore, and that's no small achievement.
It will only last a day or two. A week tops.
All right then.
Okay, well, she's a fucking psycho. I told her the truth, and that's that. I just wanted to see the other outcome. Wonder if I can tell her daughter.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yep, I found a way into the Doom commercial area.
Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And
Okay, so... Find my heraldic bird. Okay, we need to do some reading in the bookstore, perhaps.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly crime fiction. These books, what's more, not a single mention of all the stress this shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen.
God damn, that's expensive. $7.99. All right, I want to buy this Dick Mullen book.
Of course. Such violence and immorality. I mean, enjoy.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people.
Well, we're gonna have to come back here with some money.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map.
We've already gone through most of these. I'm just...
This bookstore is not
Yeah.
strictly about crime, romance.
I need $8.40 to get those two books. Then, see what else they got.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes.
Jesus.
There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related. The display rack is brimming.
Okay. We need quite a bit of money to get all these books, but that's cool. Okay, let's go ahead and read these two books we got. The frontispiece of this old paperback features a muscle man in chains kneeling before a salacious-looking woman on a regal seat, very Conan. A bonfire lies between the throne and the man, casting shadows on the wall, and the shadow of the vixen's headdress looks like a pair of demonic horns.
The edges of the pages are worn and smudged. A lot of people have read about the Devil Woman's altercations with the Helmdall man.
Look at the back cover.
The jacket copy proclaims, "Man from Helmdall returns in his most exciting adventure yet. After crashing into a strange jungle, cannibalistic natives abduct his only surviving comrade, Noble Tiribald. Before Man from Helmdall can mount a rescue, he is ambushed by a tribe of female warriors and taken to the ancient citadel of Cloud City. where a mysterious and wicked queen rules supreme. Will man from Heimdall be able to escape his dire situation and find his missing friend?
Flip through the book.
You open the book to a random page. Man from Heimdall, wielding his two Zweihanders, is carving through a sea of savages, his visage fixed in grim determination. His arms, whirling like windmills, are soaked with the blood of his enemies. Mangled corpses litter the battlefield.
Oh shit, gritty and heroic.
Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eyes as he brings glory and honor to his long-lost Heimdalla tribe. From the village of Heimdall, the ivory giant roars like an ice bear, and the winds of Gatla howl out his name.
Give me more.
Man from Heimdall rides on a gilded griffin, his golden mane billowing in the breeze. Both Zweihanders sheathed on his back. He is off to war. Will he conquer his enemies? Will he conquer himself?
Onward.
The steel muscles of man from Heimdall gleam in the humid jungle air. Yet the man does not sweat. In meditation, his soul drifts in the frigid northlands he calls home.
Holy shit, this is so me.
A passage reads, "The man from Heimdall looks up, his eyes blue as the mountain lakes of his homeland. He rarely speaks, but now his voice booms in the darkened throne room. Do not try to sap my masculine essence, wicked temptress. Son of Heimdall will never succumb to your seductive wiles. Thine spells are no match for purity and strength of will. Brothers of Heimdall, stand above the vices of flesh, for it is weak and corruptible, yet mine is forged in gore and strife." Queen Lydiana just laughs, a sultry and salacious sound, then says, "I have grand plans for you, man from Heimdall." She gestures her diabolical hand toward an array of potions and unguents. "First, you shall please me. Then lead my armies against the vicious cannibals. Not a muscle moves in the face of the man from Heimdall. Yet inside, there is turmoil. This goes against all he holds sacrosanct."
Epic.
In the final pages, man from Heimdall mounts Galavarin, his mighty griffin, and turns his gaze to the horizon. Queen Lydiana is dead, but an army of cannibals is storming the gates, and still there's no word of trusty Tyribald. To find out what happens next, you'll have to pick up Man from Heimdall and the Three-Eyed Skull, available in fine bookstores everywhere. Spring 39.
Beautiful. Okay, here's the Dick Mullen book. Another Dick Mullen book that woefully misrepresents the nature of police work. In this one, our detective returns from a trip having successfully solved one case, only to embark on another. Does he finally face the taxing nature of his occupation? Nope. He doesn't even look like a normal officer of the law.
In your hand, you hold Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity. The brittle paperback feels fragile to the touch.
Examine the cover.
The cover features a pastiche of different scenes. In the foreground, a man in a dark overcoat clutches a pistol to his chest. Rising up behind him are two silhouettes wrapped in a passionate embrace. The tagline reads, "Detective Dick Mullen must prove his innocence after an old friend is murdered by someone who looks just like Dick Mullen." That seems to sum up the premise nicely. Needless to say, it violates nearly every RCM regulation for a detective to investigate a murder in which he is a suspect.
Are you really reading that, detective?
I really need to know who this Dick Mullen guy is.
Good luck finding it. He's not much of a character, I think you'll find. Just a stand-in for the reader.
Read it.
The story opens with a knock at the door. Detective Dick Mullen is greeted by an old friend, Charlie Spillane, who's come to Mullen to ask a favor on this dark and cold night. Spillane needs Mullen to drive him in from Vespa to a small town along the Insulindium coast. Despite his friend's apparent agitation, Mullen does as he's asked, then returns home where he passes out drunk, as he does most nights. An extremely unprofessional and hurtful stereotype that's offensive to all upstanding officers of the law. but also extremely accurate in your case.
Look, I can't judge.
2 days later, Mullen is arrested by the Vesper police and charged with the murder of Charlie Spillane. At his interrogation, Mullen learns that Charlie Spillane was shot in a bar in the very town Mullen dropped him off in by a man matching Mullen's description. Desperate to clear his name, Mullen manages to convince the Vesper police to release him for 3 days so that Mullen may solve his friend's murder and prove his innocence.
The cops release their prime murder suspect so he can find the real killer. Are you shitting me?
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant turns to you with a star. I don't know who's writing this shit, but I get the feeling they aren't experts on homicide investigations.
The lieutenant shrugs, resigned to the idea that his profession will rarely, if ever, be accurately represented in art and literature. They're not shitting you, detective. This is what the writers think passes for police procedure.
All right, so Mullen didn't do it.
Of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. Anyway, Mullen returns to the seaside bar where Spillane was murdered and meets a beautiful, mysterious woman named Diana Deneuve.
Now it's getting interesting.
Deneuve reveals that she was Spillane's lover and that he was mixed up with a local amphetamine smuggling operation. As soon as Mullen begins pulling at strings, the whole conspiracy begins to unravel. Not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the son of a powerful politician and a strung-out art collector named Torvald, each of whom has his own reasons for wanting Spillane dead.
Tell me more about the corrupt police captain.
Outwardly, the old police captain is a real law and order crypto-fascist, a barrel-chested man who's beaten his share of suspects to pulp. But he's also dirty and increasingly paranoid that someone's going to expose his role in the drug ring. He would certainly have the motive and the means, but the captain walks with a noticeable limp from an old war injury. Is it possible that he was able to conceal it long enough to commit the murder?
What about the politician's son?
A typical privileged twat. In all likelihood, he's just in over his head. He does bear a personal grudge against Spillane, though, a former prosecutor who nearly brought down his father's administration. The kid doesn't exactly have Dick Mullen's manly build, but he is the correct height, and while interrogating him at his home, Mullen did notice a certain overcoat that looks suspiciously like his own.
You mentioned an art collector?
Torvald, the art collector, is a strung-out mess. Frankly, it's hard to imagine him holding a pistol steady enough to actually hit someone, let alone plug them 3 times in the chest the way Spillane got did. That said, Torvald and Spillane have a long history, and while interrogating him, Mullen discovers that Torvald was once involved with Diana Deneuve. Could it be that this is all over a sordid love triangle?
Let's get on with the story.
One evening, Diana Deneuve comes to Mullen's hostel room in tears. The two of them drink half a bottle of vodka, and soon they're seeking comfort in each other's arms. Yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's touch. The burning taste of liquor on her full, sweet lips. Well, that testimony won't be admissible any longer.
How does Mullen expect to solve the murder if he's sleeping with the witness?
The man's a prosecutor's nightmare. Solving a murder counts for nothing if all the evidence gets thrown out in court over police misconduct. That's just Dick Mullen's modus operandi. He might bend the rules, but he closes cases like no one else can.
I'm not sure I'm happy with this, but maybe the story will turn around.
As the two lovers share a post-coital cigarette, Diana Deneuve turns to Mullen and says, "By the way, Dick, there was something else I meant to tell you. I love you." The name of the true killer. Whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow to the base of his skull knocks him out cold instantly.
Can't trust a woman.
Who can you trust in this wicked, messed up world?
No one. You just go with your gut.
That's exactly what Dick Mullen says in Dauntless Dick, and a fatal appointment. Speaking of, your gut's seen better days. It's a cesspool of burbling acids and noxious fumes, the kind of thing the government might declare a zone of irredeemable catastrophe.
Why is my gut in such bad shape?
Could it be an underlying condition aggravated by years of greasy meals scarfed down between shifts, or the liters upon liters of hard liquor guzzled on an empty stomach?
Shit. Let me look at my skill points. That makes me want to get more. That was, what was that? Endurance. I have 10. Ah, oh well.
No point in worrying about it just now. Why don't you get back to the story? When Mullen comes to, Deneuve is dead on the hostel bed next to him. To make matters worse, his clothes are covered with her blood.
Shit!
Mullen trashes his blood-stained clothes and flees the hostel, knowing it's only a matter of hours before the cops discover Deneuve's body, if they haven't been tipped off already. Fleeing a crime scene, destroying evidence. Even if Detective Mullen didn't commit the murder, he should be facing years behind bars. Dick Mullen won't be sent to the clink for the sake of some legal niceties. The heat is on. If Dick Mullen can't solve both murders before the cops catch up to him, he's going away for life. Can you solve the case before the cops close in?
Wait,
What is it, Detective?
why does everyone close to Dick Mullen wind up dead?
It's a dangerous line of work, but somebody has to do it. That's why Dick Mullen never lets anyone get too close. What's the matter? Afraid you've been hacking up your friends' bodies in the night? Have you gone over everyone? Is anybody missing?
Why did Dick Mullen become a detective in the first place?
There was never a time when he wasn't a detective. He was born a detective.
Was I not born to be a detective?
For a moment, you cease to read the story on the page and see the book for what it is. A collection of brittle, cheaply printed pages held together by glue made from the hooves of horses. From nowhere, you hear the screech of sneakers on a waxed floor, and you feel the burn of rope against your hands. Are these figments of some other life? You won't find the answers you're looking for here, in other words.
Why even bother solving crimes when the world's so evil?
Is it really so evil, Detective?
There are parts worth saving.
Like what?
Wow. Drugs. You know it's all about the drugs. That is fucking...
There are worse things in the world than the pursuit of chemical pleasures. But there are better things, too. What's a book know about real pleasure? What's better than feeling your mesolimbic pathway flood your mind crevices with pure dopamine? Why are you even still reading this garbage? Baby, get some of that sweet speed or spooky Pyrrolidon. It's the good stuff.
I don't have any more questions. I figured it all out.
So, who did it, Detective? Who killed Charlie Spillane and Deanna Deneuve?
Dick Mullen.
Have you been paying attention at all? It wasn't Mullen. It was an imposter. You begin furiously. You try to grab the pages as they come loose, but your fingers aren't quick enough. They're gone. Dozens of pages scatter across the floor. The last fifth or so of the book seems to have been lost. It's possible that you could gather and reassemble the pages, but it would take way too long.
Stupid horse glue.
Ah, yes. The problem with mass-market paperbacks. They are not made to last. Perhaps this is a sign that you should get back to solving your own murder, huh, detective?
Don't forget, it could have been the delirium tremens. In your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen and the mistaken identity.
Bastard. You have to have fucking 20 reaction time or whatever. Oh, we got our thought
Bankruptcy
done.
sequence. It's easy. You just need to move on. Like a plague of locusts. Like a fucking plague. Failure is a core tenet of liberalism. When life closes a door, it opens a window. And if the fall is too steep, use the fire exit. Run to the roof. You always have that airship on the dock. The most important thing is to keep moving. Keep dreaming. The auditors cannot get to you if you keep running. Very, very fast. From one fuck up to the next.
White check failures give +1 real. That is fucking worthless. It doesn't do shit. Interesting. I will replace that one, I guess. We're almost ready to go to sleep. Oh yeah, it said okay, we need to find my heraldic bird. It says you're a bit of a cockatoo. Go read up on cockatoos in the bookstore. Was that this book up here to buy? Or did I already buy it?
Shelves full of biographies of fame.
Alright, we'll pick our bird, I guess. Fuck it.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas a la Mer. Known for their intelligence and general precociousness, cockatoos are popular birds in aviculture. However, they often exhibit various behavioral issues.
Okay, what more?
This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo, the major majestic cockatoo, and the most common bang bang cockatoo. It's colorfully illustrated.
What problem? We'll read about each of them. Read about the funeral cockatoo.
This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral, 24/7. There is something indisputably ominous about it. Ooh.
Okay, what about the majestic cockatoo?
Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant bird in the jungle. Its pink-colored wings and flowing crest embellishing its proud and bumptious nature. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species.
What about the bang bang?
Despite its banging name, the bang bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white. The Seminoles name bang bang is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins. The bang is for all the scary things in the world that may happen at any time.
Honest, what problems do these birds have?
Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up.
I could handle that. It would be nice to have someone to talk to when I feel lonely.
Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive.
Here, I'm actually going to start this thought now. Because we've just been reading and shit, we might as well. The precarious world. Seems like the point of this game is victory, the absence of defeat on all fronts. Victory in business ventures and creative undertakings. Victory in love and over other people. Political victory, ideological victory, hell, even sexual victory. Definitely a lot of object-based victories too. Having things and not losing them. One problem though, not a lot of victors in sight. Everyone mostly losing. Why is that, and how do you not lose?
It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
There has to be something good about cockatoos as well.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle and show off, and will even scream for fun, often as loud as up to 135 decibels. Ouch. That must hurt.
Honestly, this bird does sound like me.
Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
Only the funeral cockatoo in its darkness can truly grasp the depths of my doom-laden soul.
You're right. You're Psittacus venereus embodied. This ominous bird belongs on your heraldry.
Beautiful. Might need to sell. See if I can go sell some shit at Frit. Okay, talk to Titus. What's so special about the borscht? Okay, so we need to find the borscht and open the apartment door for Everart. And then we'll go to bed after that. Oh, it's not this. It's, this map is a little hard to actually find anything on. Guess it's over here. Gotta go around.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Ooh, that's a brutal one.
Yeah. Why? It's a wall. An ordinary wall.
Why must we stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
Another splattering of bullet holes on this wall.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. The royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some.
That's probably the door Everett mentioned. We still need to get the key from this manana first, though.
This must be the royal...
That's probably the door.
Oh, we have to get the key from Mañana. What does that fuck? What does he mean by that?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours?
Ooh. Not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
Don't you have a real home?
Does anyone in a city like this?
It's not nice, but I guess it has to do.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all.
Really? You're a miner?
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. But somehow, it never happens. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
I found some drugs in the coal room. Yours?
They just might be. Rough stuff. If you take the ride, you'd be wise to buckle your little pig belly up.
I like bumpy rides. Know where I can get some more?
We apologize, but we're currently not buying the entrapment you're selling. Please call again later. Thank you.
She smiles at her own joke.
If you're really interested, then I'm sorry. But I don't do anti-radiation drugs anymore, so I don't know where to get them.
Where'd you get these then?
From a guy on Buggy Street, Porter Rosa. Go there after midnight, and you can get all kinds of funny things. Veterans of the People's Pile selling their stash.
Damn me and my affinity to farm animals, she's probably thinking. She hopes the information is useless.
Alright, see you, Cindy. Okay, so we can't open the door for Evart. Get the key to the weasel. Oh, okay. Mañana. I think it's that guy way over here. Yeah, we can get it if he's still up. It's getting late. Mañana, we'll have to see him tomorrow. Can we sell our shit to this chick?
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this novelty check for cash. Give her the novelty check and gain 25 real.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir.
She rolls up the giant novelty check. Looks like she's seen it before and slips it under the counter.
Anything else I can do for you?
Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. The tear machine stands in your bottles clunk.
Okay, let's go buy, Actually, I'll wait. I want to get the rest of those books. We can talk to... let's check out this borscht. Never mind.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
He does not look particularly happy to see you. Authority, godly, establish authority.
Establish authority, yes.
Yep. Let's see.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Can I save in the middle of this? No.
Establish authority, yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
All right. We're going to call it here, and on the next episode, we will talk to Tyson. We need to talk to Kim. Oh man, 20 real to pay for my room. I don't want to fucking spend that. Find my badge. Let's go ahead first and visit apartment 28.
The door is closed.
Oh. No, that's fine. We'll call it here and we'll do the rest of our night adventures next time. Peace.